Well, if everything goes right here, this will be a video on how I edit photos. So I'm gonna do this image here, photo of a monkey and a girl. That's a photo of a mural of a monkey and a girl. Do a quick load up here. Shot in RAW. So I'm gonna edit first, just doing some basic adjustments using RAW. You're welcome to use the auto feature if you'd like. I like messing with things sometimes. A little bit more exposure. Try to keep this in the middle. Probably crank it that way. Less shadows. I'm gonna keep there. Whites. I'm gonna bring blacks down there. Texture and clarity is always a fun one to mess with. They both have their looks, I suppose. Kind of like this stuff cranked up a lot. Makes it look a little bit over processed, but I like the looks of it. I'm not gonna go too crazy with that. That might be a little much. A little saturation. Alright, let's say that's good. We open it. Wait for it to pull. Now's a good time to keep it in 2x3. Actually, we're gonna start that. We're just gonna visual ratio. And we're gonna strain this out. I'm gonna use the bottom of this down here to make the thing work. And we'll call that good. Kind of strain it out. Looks good. Maybe we'll bring it in a little bit. I don't go too crazy with it. Kind of frames it in. So now, it's up to you how you go about it. I like to do a few different things, like start with just the lasso tool, and I'm just going to select the wall. Basically what I'm going to do here is make 3 distinct layers, making a foreground, subject, and a background. To do this, we're going to make a few layers. So you're going to select the current layer, right click, hit duplicate layer. Once we have the object we want selected, then we hit this layer mask tool down at the bottom. That has now made just the monkey separate from the other parts. We're gonna not mess with density, we're gonna pull the feathering in a little bit. Like so. Now we have one layer selected, we'll bring the others back. We'll do a foreground layer. You can do this with the object selection tool too. Again, we're gonna click on this, hit duplicate layer. Okay. Hit this. Now, just the foreground should be there. Next, one more layer. No, that's an accident. There we go. Select the background. Doing the same. And duplicate. Alright, so now that we have them separated from each other, we can isolate them. Stay in the background, which is this one. We just want it to be real blurry. We can go to filter, blur, I like surface blur. Then we can make it real blurry.
see right now. Takes a little bit. I'm gonna bring the other layer in. Now it's got an interesting effect, but there's kind of a weird transition here between the two. So we're gonna go, and we're gonna feather that in. Like, maybe like that. You can also feather it into the other layer, like that. Still a little odd, but it should work for now. Alright, right now we're on the middle layer. I'm gonna click contrast change. Now to associate it just with the layer we have selected, I'm gonna go to create clipping mask. Oh, I guess I selected foreground, but this works. Now we're just adjusting the foreground's contrast. And you can see, like, depending on what you do, you can kind of give it another dimension to the photo. I like that. I like what that did. So we can do the same here with contrast, create a clipping mask, and adjust just the contrast on the monkey. Which is cool. Why not, while we're here, we'll do like a color lookup on, we're associating this with the background. Let's try some Kodak. Yeah, you can mess around with it. Figure out what works for you. I'm also going to do contrast on that. Definitely an interesting effect. Now we have this main layer as a background. We can bring that back in to kind of fill in the gaps. And also kind of create a backdrop. Here's the kicker. On all of these, you can adjust the opacity, and when you do that, it'll kind of filter and blend in and make it will make it so it doesn't look like you just threw a bunch of stuff on top of each other. It'll kind of make it look like more natural instead of hyper processed, which I tend to like. We've gone a little too far there with the effects, and I think pulling them back is a good call. Like that. So yeah, basically this all looks pretty good to me. It's probably best to save it like this. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll right click and then hit flatten image, and that'll incorporate all the changes that you've done and make this one image. And like from here, if you wanted to add a little bit of like vibrance or saturation, you could do that now. And then maybe like you could do a color, selective color, and enhance specific colors within the whole photo that you just merged into itself. I think this is worth messing with a little bit. Yeah. I don't really know how much more you go into it, but maybe some purples. But yeah, that's basically my process. Then I'll save it as a high resolution JPEG. Thank you.